control your appetite with ease. Introducing Colon Broom Premium.
And it's delicious. But that's quite big for a handheld cup. So what I like to do is take a ring cutter, stopper, curried shrimp cups in a roti bowl. This delicious little flatbread is Indian and it's delicious. But that's quite big for a handheld cup. So what I like to do is take a ring cutter or the end of a clean tin and just dig out a nice circle. And that's a perfect size for a roti cup. Get a non-stick muffin tin with small muffin cups and just push it in. But what helps with the crispiness is if you push it down and then take a little oil and brush the oil on the roti, and that way it gets super crispy, and when it comes out of the muffin tin, it holds its shape, and it's a beautiful bowl to pack with shrimp and tons of flavor. All right, a few to do, and then I'm off to the queue. All right, to cook these roti cups is dead simple. Barbecues at medium to high heat. Put them on. You want to let them get nice and crispy. But you can't have a curried shrimp cup without a kicked up curry. Why don't we make one? All right. Girl, you'll be a curry soon. Love all your spices, gonna take nice, and let's do this thing. The holy trinity in any Indian cooking is onions, ginger, and garlic. And for the onion, cut it up a little bit before you put it in the food processor. Curry's all about the spice, so some green chilies will do the trick. For some meat and some body, some roasted tomatoes, that's the aromatic base. So blend that up and get those flavors to know each other. Hit it! That smells delicious. Okay, that takes care of the aromatic base. Now for the spice blend. So the first thing to go in is coriander seeds. That's one of the quintessential spices in all curries. Next up is fenugreek seeds, mustard seeds, fennel seeds for a little floral licorice pop. Cardamom pods are really fragrant and floral, but man, do they add a kick of flavor. So that can go in. And some curry leaves. It says it all in the name. Put it in there. And you just want to bash the seeds up, let all those flavors open up and get to know each other. That smells just wild, but if you want those spices to shine even more, I like toasting them in a little bit of oil. They get more complex. It gets you ready to have a curry party. So in with the spice mix. Good sizzle. You want to hear good sizzle. That's perfect. Use the spoon and swoop up all of those spices. This is how you build flavor quickly. There's a lot of water in the tomatoes and the onion, but once it mixes with the spices and the water starts to evaporate, it gets really intense in flavor, and the smell and the aroma is breathtaking. So there's two more spices that go in there for me. Don't need a lot of toasting. One is cashmere chili. If you smell it, wow, puts a smile on your face. Don't be shy, get it in there. And turmeric for color, and it's delicious. So a nice shot of turmeric. Oh, this is great. There's so much flavor happening in there. Now it's time for the liquids. You can use whatever stock you want. I'm putting a shot of chicken stock in there because I love the flavor. You just want enough to clean up the pan a little bit. Let them have a big old hug. Once the stock's in there and it's had a chance to bubble, now you want to get silky. A shot of full, fat, decadent coconut milk. The coconut comes in there and mellows everything out. There's a lot of intensity going on with those beautiful spices. Throw in a few chickpeas. It adds great texture. It soaks up a bit of the sauce and helps it get really nice and thick. There's one thing left to put in there, and that's a squeeze of lime. It calms down the spice and gives the sauce balance. Unlike the curry, which is pretty complex, I keep the seasonings for the shrimp.
24. play golf, and do good. Join us for the Red Shield Classic to benefit the Salvation Army's Addiction Recovery Center, a no-fee drug and alcohol recovery program. For every $10,000 raised, we can help another person receive this free life-saving treatment. Tee up to help our neighbors. Thursday, September 12th at Echo Falls Golf Club. Register for the Red Shield Classic or make a donation to the Salvation Army's Addiction Recovery Center now at KIRO7.com/golf. Thank you to our event sponsors for supporting this life-saving work. Or 7. Log on to KIRO7.com and download the KIRO 7 News and Weather apps.
We all love recipes with garlic, but trying to use an awkward garlic press makes a smelly mess. Introducing the Great Garlic, your ultimate kitchen companion for effortlessly crushing garlic to perfection. Just place a peeled clove of garlic under the grate, rock it back and forth, and say goodbye to tedious chopping and messy mincing. The Great Garlic ensures consistent results every time. Scan the code on your screen to order your Great Garlic today. This is a limited time offer, so scan now and find out for yourself just how great the Great Garlic is.
Scan the code on your screen now for this exclusive offer from HydroSpark Pro. Discover the new trend that's bubbling up as the future of hydration innovation. Get hydrogen-infused water now with the HydroSpark Pro. Fill it up, push the button, and in just 3 minutes, H2OMG, you've got hydrogen-infused water. And for a limited time, the HydroSpark Pro is just $69.99. Scan the code on your screen and get your HydroSpark Pro today.
Introducing the Flash Force Tactical Flashlight. Its powerful telescopic zoom gives you a super bright light exactly where you need it and is visible at a distance of over 2,000 meters. With 7 useful modes, it's ready to light up any dark situation. Plus, a rechargeable battery and rugged IPX4 waterproof design make it perfect for outdoor adventures like fishing, camping, and more. Scan the code on your screen now or visit flashforce.store to claim your discount. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. Get your Flash Force Tactical Flashlight today.
As a certified mechanic, I know that when your manufacturer's warranty ends, expensive repairs are likely to begin. That's why I recommend you get a plan from Ox Car Care. When your car breaks down, they'll pay for the repair, not you.
When your vehicle needs repair, take it to your mechanic and Ox will pay them directly.
Ox paid for my $7,200 engine repair.
Call A+ rated Ox Car Care now for a free quote and see how low your monthly payments can be.
Cleaning is a stressful chore. You can scrub by hand all day. There has to be a better way. Now there is with the Spinny Scrub, the revolutionary handheld spinning scrub brush that makes cleaning a snap. Make pots and pans shine. Deep clean your grout and tile. Even filthy shoes look like new. The Spinny Scrub is easy to recharge and store away. And with detachable cleaning heads, you can relax and let the Spinny Scrub do all the work. Scan the code on your screen or go to spinnyscrub.com and order your Spinny Scrub today.
Do you need full coverage health insurance for 18 to 65 who make more than $22,000 a year? Act. One call to
And we met someone today who hopes to do just that.
We bought a house within walking distance like 5 or 6 years ago, and our realtor was like, oh, there's going to be a light rail. And we're like, all right, sure. Seems so far away. So yeah, we're stoked. So we're just able to, to just walk right on.
Lucky her. This 8.5-mile extension costs about $3 billion, but Sound Transit tells me it is seen as a life-changing for so many members of their community. So lots of excitement here today, and in the coming years, other communities are going to get a piece of that as well. I'll explain that further coming up in about an hour. Live in Linwood, Gwen Baumgartner, KIRO 7 News.
Each one of those people out there, Gwen, they're all celebrating not having to get stuck in traffic anymore, I think.
Think about rail.
Absolutely, myself included.
Right, okay, thanks a lot, Gwen.
Now, of course, the Linwood Link light rail will make the drive shorter for commuters, but the big vexing question, if you have to drive a car to get to the station, where do you park your car? KIRO 7's Madeline Ottley went out to Linwood to map that all out for you.
One of the big questions is if you are driving to get on the Link light rail, where is it that you're going to park? Well, the good news is that Sound Transit does have designated free parking at all 4 of these new stops. Linwood City Center has about 1,670 spots, Montlake Terrace 688 spots, and then Shoreline North and Shoreline South each have about 500. Right now, all of that parking is free. I'm told that could potentially change down the line. There's been some conversation, but ultimately that would be a decision made by the Sound Transit Board. A lot of people won't even have to worry about parking. That's because there has been somewhat of a housing boom along this new light rail extension. We're talking about 10,000 new housing units that have either already been built or already have permits to be within half a mile of this new expansion. Reporting in Linwood, Madeline Ottley, Cairo 7 News.
And right now, the Labor Day travel rush is underway at SEA Airport as the airport continues to recover from an apparent cyber attack. So looking live at the departures right here, oh boy, you see it is a slog as those folks are crawling toward the terminals there. Now, nationwide, TSA says 2.86 million people could travel today alone, with an expected 17 million over the holiday weekend stretch. And that would be a Labor Day record, but not even one of the top 10 days in a record-setting air travel year. AAA says Seattle is the top domestic destination this holiday, driven in part by sold-out Alaskan cruises departing from here. But for those flying into and out of Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, travel could be tricky.
Here on the international side is where we're seeing the biggest impact right now.
Some international carriers and smaller airlines are manually checking in passengers while employees are handwriting gate information. Security checkpoints are operating normally.
Meanwhile, thousands of people are expected to hit the roads from Labor Day weekend. And the good news is gas prices you're going to pay at the pump down from a year ago. Here's the bad news. There are a lot of things happening in and around Seattle this weekend, which is going to make holiday traffic a lot worse. From Bumbershoot to PAX West and Metallica and other bands performing at Lumen Field over the weekend, there's several areas you're going to want to avoid if you can. Frankie Katafias has your holiday traffic report.
It is officially the holiday weekend, and although we don't have nearly as many construction projects on the roadways for this weekend, we do have a lot of events that could cause some congestion. Now, Labor Day itself is going to cause some major weekend travel delays. We're expecting major delays statewide through at least September 4th. Here's an emphasis on some of the areas that WashDOT is highlighting that could have a little bit more congestion than usual. Now, I want to go ahead and zoom into on Seattle itself. We have 5 major events happening in Seattle all in one weekend. We have events happening in Seattle Center from Friday through Monday. UW football is happening 8 p.m. on Saturday. The Seattle Convention Center is going to be busy from Friday through Monday with that PAX event, and then Lumen Field will have that Metallica concert on Friday and Sunday. So just plan ahead. We're expecting, again, really big traffic delays, concerns, and just a lot of slowdowns over this time period. And one last thing I got to put on your radar, the Washington State Fair. We are all excited to go and visit the fair this year, but expect delays in traffic, not just for today, but also through September 22nd when the fair runs until. Here's a look at some of the highlighted areas WashDOT has that could see some of this congestion. And of course, we'll have the latest updates that could impact your drives around the Sound and even around Western Washington on our website, Cairo 7.
Yeah, all those activities, also the cruises. And as we go live to Seattle right now, just plain this is bringing people here.
Can we just leave that up for a while? Yeah. Chief Meteorologist Morgan Palmer is here. You know, if you got plans to travel, planes, trains, or automobiles, at least you don't have to worry about the weather, huh?
Yeah, and looking outside today at Kirkland, at the Kirkland waterfront, just beautiful this morning. I'm going to step off the camera here and advance this just a little bit and see the beautiful day evolve here across all of Western Washington. Temperatures getting into the 80s in many spots from Seattle south. It's 80 right now in Bremerton. Temperatures across the South Sound are also warm. And let's take a look at Bellingham live from the camera looking over Bellingham Bay. A lot of sparkling blue sky. Got it getting up to 83 at SeaTac Airport, 83 in Tacoma, 86 in Olympia, and 83 degrees in Bremerton, the high temperature so far today. The Pinpoint Storm Tracker clear of any rain. So we take the wider view and we take a look at what's happening across the Pacific Northwest. And we have this high pressure that is built in across the West Coast. That's going to keep us dry for days to come. And that could last all the way through next week, too. So we have a very warm weekend in store, plenty of 80s, a little cooler on Labor Day, and I'm pinpointing where we could have a sprinkle or a light rain shower coming up.
And I'm Mel Thomas at the Live Desk. Just into the newsroom, new video of a takedown in Pierce County. A couple of guys tried to run from police after a robbery. Well, little did they know, the officer they were trying to outrun, a German Shepherd. Take a look.
Please stop! I'll send the dog! You better stop! You're gonna get bit! Take that guy! I'm sorry. Stay there, right there. You got it?
So in real time, it only took K9 Eddie 10 seconds to bring that guy down. Police say he and his son stole alcohol from a SARS market. Well, when employees tried to confront them, they pulled out a can of bear spray. Then they took off in this maroon Honda. Officers, very quick to respond, spotted that car, started chasing it. Then the suspects crashed. Well, that's when they started to run. Eddie bringing down that first guy, standing at what's called dog point until backup got there. And then the second guy spotted hiding under a staircase by a Good Samaritan. They were both booked into Pierce County Jail, the son getting an extra charge for eluding. Now, talk about going out on top, though. This was actually K9 Eddie's last call. His partner's being promoted, so that means it's time for Eddie to hang up the badge. A very good final job from a very good boy. At the Live Desk, I'm Mel Thomas.
Thank you, El. The King County Sheriff's Office is now looking for witnesses after a deadly shooting on board a Metro bus. This happened Monday on board a Metro bus going north on International Boulevard. Deputies said there was some sort of altercation that led up to the shooting. The shooter got away in the chaos as people ran off the bus. If you were on board that bus or you know anything about the shooting, please give detectives a call.
3 people are recovering and 20 do not have a home after that massive fire at their apartment complex this morning in Everett. It happened at Fulton's Crossing and Landing off Southeast Everett Mall Way. The intense flames sent residents scrambling.
Nothing but total flames just shooting out that upstairs. The flames were real intense coming out.
I panicked, grabbed my things, and came outside, and it was just blazing. Huge flames dropping everywhere.
Oh, one man jumped from a balcony to escape the intense flames. It took crews more than an hour and a half to put out that fire. The American Red Cross is now helping those displaced residents. Well, the daughter of a man who nearly died after falling down a waterfall is giving us now an update on her dad.
And it's a great positive update. I just listened to this interview. This happened last Friday near Snohomish County's Bear Lake Trail. Rescuers had to hand rig a rope system with pulleys and anchored him to rocks to get him across Hempel Creek. The team then helped him get him out of the thick forest. 26 hours later, that missing hiker was finally found and rescued and safe. His daughter told KIRO 7 she's extremely grateful for the team who saved her father's life.
The fact that not only did they spend more than one night, 2 nights out there looking for him, but that they were able to keep him in such high spirits, and they're superheroes, in my opinion. Those are the real heroes of America out there saving people's lives.
And Alicia, that woman you see on your screen, was moved enough that she and her husband are going to become volunteer rescue members for the same team. KIRO 7 talked with that rescue team earlier this week, and you can watch that interview right now on our website, KIRO7.com.
What a great story. Now, still to come live at 4. A warning about car prowlers in the Puget Sound, the latest area targeted, and important advice to keep your car and your personal belongings safe.
And bad weather isn't the only turbulence impacting flights. Unruly passengers that are still causing chaos. Look at that, what might be fueling frustrations in the skies and how the FAA is addressing these issues.
This is Finn. Long story short, he's from Minnesota.
That cat from Minnesota somehow ended up more than 1,500 miles from home in Monroe. The story of how he was found.
From north to south, from Arlington to Olympia, hardly a cloud in the sky. None on these views. I'm pinpointing how long that lasts and the spots in western Washington to hit 90 degrees tomorrow.
play golf, and do good. Join us for the Red Shield Classic to benefit the Salvation Army's Addiction Recovery Center, a no-fee drug and alcohol recovery program. For every $10,000 raised, we can help another person receive this free life-saving treatment. Tee up to help our neighbors. Thursday, September 12th at Echo Falls Golf Club. Register for the Red Shield Classic or make a donation to the Salvation Army's Addiction Recovery Center now at Cairo7.com/golf. Thank you to our event sponsors for supporting this life-saving work.
Lizzie's Jewelry announces their new outlet store at Smoky Point. All jewelry priced from $10 to $250. Many items one of a kind. Incredible bargains at a fraction of normal retail. Discover Lizzie's now with 3 locations: Smoky Point, Marysville, and Wenatchee.
You'll love Lizzie's!
When it comes to dealing with electrical issues, the folks at As You Wish Electric are definitely the people to know. Whether you're remodeling your home, connecting a hot tub, installing a new panel box, or dealing with something smaller, As You Wish Electric has a team of experienced technicians standing by to tackle any kind of electrical project. Check out their reviews online and then call them for a free estimate. Your electrical problem will disappear in a snap with a little help from your friends at As You Wish Electric.
The Subaru A Lot to Love event is on now at Kendall's Subaru of Marysville. Start your next adventure in a new all-wheel drive 2024 Subaru Outback Touring XT. Save $3,226 off MSRP and get 2.9% APR for 72 months. A new 2025 Subaru Forester is only $31,332. Plus get available 4.9% APR. Stop by the all-new location of Kendall's Subaru of Marysville on Smoky Point Boulevard. Kendall, let's start something great.
Road trip.
From the hip.
Roll with it. Change your POV.
WTV.
Tell reality, BRB. Let your engines roll.
Try a new pour. You never know what's in store. See some OMG. Maybe an ET.
Or the world's oldest trees.
Travel Nevada. Get a little out there.
As a certified mechanic, I know that when your manufacturer's warranty ends, expensive repairs are likely to begin. That's why you need Ox Car Care. When your car breaks down, they'll pay for the repair, not you.
Call now to save on repairs.
Local kids need your help to get the school clothes they need. Join Cover 7 Cares and the Salvation Army to send local students back to school shopping. Every dollar counts. Donate now at Cover7.com/shopping.
We all love recipes with garlic, but trying to use an awkward garlic press makes a smelly mess. Introducing the Great Garlic, your ultimate kitchen companion for effortlessly crushing garlic to perfection. Just place a peeled clove of garlic under the grate, rock it back and forth, and say goodbye to tedious chopping and messy mincing.
You Wish Electric.
TSA is expecting millions of people to fly for the Labor Day holiday, but airlines are already dealing with turbulence, including unruly passengers continually disrupting flights. But airlines are already dealing with turbulence, including unruly passengers, as we mentioned. Cover 7's Kirsten Garris joins us now from Reagan International Airport in D.C. What's being done to address this ongoing problem up in the air?
We aren't seeing the same level of rowdy behavior like we were in 2021. That's when pandemic-era mask mandates were sparking many incidents. But airlines say they are still reporting issues in the skies. When you hop on a flight now, major disruptions like this one aren't happening as often. The Federal Aviation Administration says unruly passenger incidents have dropped by more than 80% since record highs in 2021. But the agency has also received more than 1,400 reports of rowdy behavior so far this year.
Now, certainly any unruly passenger incident is one too many, but I also think that we fly a lot of people without issue.
Jeff Price is an aviation professor at Metropolitan State University of Denver. He says there isn't usually any law enforcement present on flights, and he believes some passengers may not acknowledge flight attendants as authority figures.
The flight attendant is there for their safety and security, so they do need to be paying attention to them and listening to them and doing what they're asked to do.
The FAA says the most serious cases are sent to the FBI for review. The agency has referred 43 unruly passenger incidents so far this year. Several cases involve passengers who sexually or physically assaulted another traveler or a crew member. Others were reported for threatening or aggressive behavior.
by seeing more of these cases go to the FBI, by seeing more of them being prosecuted, lets other people know that you're being watched.
Passengers can face thousands of dollars in fines and even jail time for bad behavior on flights. Just last year alone, the FAA issued $7.5 million in fines for unruly passengers. At Reagan National Airport, Kirsten Garris, Cairo 7 News.
Two of the state's oldest ferries are still docked in Washington after a group of mariners failed to haul them away to Ecuador. The 4 South American workers spent weeks stuck on a tugboat and entangled in our immigration system. According to the Seattle Times, advocates claim the sailors were mistreated by their employer, Nelson Armas. The company bought the Elwha and the Klahowya earlier this year for $100,000. However, since the failed tow, the contract was canceled and the workers' visas were no longer valid. The Times reports Customs and Border Protection agents took the sailors' passports on Monday. Then yesterday, agents took them to a detention facility near Seattle-Tacoma Airport with plans to fly them home. Now, we reached out to the company and Border Patrol for comment. We have not yet heard back.
The typhoon that blasted southern Japan yesterday is now dumping massive amounts of rain on Tokyo and disrupting flights across that country. Fierce winds sent planes swerving and wobbling, forcing the pilots to abort their landings. Authorities say gusts in some areas topped 112 miles an hour. That storm is being blamed for several deaths. Dozens of people have been hurt as well. Severe flooding has left drivers stranded in a lot of parts of Japan, paralyzing traffic delivery services across southwestern parts of that country. Forecasters say the typhoon is weakened, but it is not moving much, raising the risk of widespread damage.
To a very different scene now. Let's take you live to the coast. A view of the Pacific from Yachats, Oregon right now. That looks pretty dark out there, Morgan. Is that just with our camera? Or?
Just some clouds there across the immediate coastal waters down in Oregon. Around here, it's looking great on our beaches, and it will be all weekend long. It's going to be hot, though, in eastern Washington. Let's go to Chelan. Looking live back toward the southern end of the lake along Wooden Avenue this evening, and it's going to be a nice weekend. You know, sometimes if you decide to take a trip and head to Chelan or head east of the Cascades, you never know quite what you're going to get this time of year. Is it going to be smoke? Is it going to be cloudy and cool? Or is it going to be hot? Well, it's going to be clear and hot this weekend. We'll have some smoke issues in far southeastern Washington, but around central Washington, just heat. Highs in the 90s to near 100 degrees. Right now in Chelan, I just checked, it's 84 degrees, but likely around 92 tomorrow. From the Tulalip Resort Casino, beautiful afternoon. Looking back toward the Cascades, we have beautiful weather going into this holiday weekend. Plenty of sunshine, warmer temperatures than average. A few clouds around Sunday and especially Monday. And on Monday, we'll have much cooler temperatures back down, say in the lower 70s in Seattle and Tacoma and even 60s north. So Labor Day itself is going to be different than Saturday and Sunday. So we have something for everyone, unless you really want a big rain shower. I don't have that in the forecast for you. Temperatures in Seattle cooling off nicely after the sun goes down tonight with these clear skies, fairly calm winds, and also some dry conditions. Temperatures fall pretty quickly after the sun goes down. 59 in Seattle to start tomorrow morning. Not as chilly as earlier this week. And check out the highs tomorrow afternoon. Right on the water, we're looking at low 80s in King County, mid 80s interior, 84 for Seattle through the Rainier Valley and SeaTac, 85 in Renton. Southtown temperatures away from the water in Pierce County. We're going to have some 86, 87 degree temperatures at the State Fair getting underway. 87 degrees in Puyallup tomorrow. 80 in Everett and 79 in Stanwood through the islands. A little cooler. Beautiful day to be on the water. Goodness, 72 Oak Harbor and 76 around Friday Harbor and Orcas Island. 90 in Shelton and Centralia and Chehalis. I mentioned a few of these 90s and a few of our western Washington hot spots. We can expect that to be almost the case on Sunday. Maybe a degree cooling with a cloud or two in the sky. There's that cool down on Labor Day. A good 10 degrees of cooling. We'll stay cooler than average on Tuesday. Mainly dry except the chance for a mountain shower, mainly in the South Cascades on Monday. But we're back toward 80 toward the end of next week.
That's an awesome forecast. Thank you, Morgan. Still to come live at 4, who wants to be a 401k millionaire? There turns out to be a record number of people with more than $1 million in their retirement accounts. We're going to show you the steps to take right now to join the 401k Millionaires Club.
I'm like, okay, you are not supposed to be here.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in Minnesota, not Monroe. The story of how that guy was found after his more than 15.
The Subaru A Lot to Love event is on now at Kendall Subaru of Marysville. Start your next adventure in a new all-wheel drive 2024 Subaru Outback Touring XT. Save $3,226 off MSRP and get 2.9% APR for 72 months. A new 2025 Subaru Forester is only $31,332. Plus get available 4.9% APR. Stop by the all-new location of Kendall Subaru of Marysville on Smoky Point Boulevard. Kendall, let's start something great.
Now, insane deals.
There's a lot of noise about the best place to buy a vehicle. At Kendall, we do things a little different. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle at Kendall is a straightforward, transparent process. Every qualified pre-owned vehicle at Kendall has been fully inspected and is covered with the Kendall Auto Protection Plan, included at no extra cost. No noise, just peace of mind. Kendall, let's start something great.
When you decide you want to lose weight, you can try counting calories. Or you can count on 60 years of science with Weight Watchers, a program that turns 6 complex nutritional variables into one simple point system. Start today. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Got travel plans? Get 50% off Rosetta Stone Unlimited and let language lead you somewhere amazing. Rosetta Stone has everything you need to master 25 languages. And for one price, you'll have access to lessons for life. Get it at the lowest price right now at rosettastone.com.
If you're clean and you know it, wiggle round. If you're clean and you know it, boogie down. New Skin Essentials wipes are as gentle as they come. Zero harsh stuff and a good clean on your bum.
As a certified mechanic, I know that when your manufacturer's warranty ends, expensive repairs are likely to begin. That's why you need Ox Car Care. When your car breaks down, they'll pay for the repair, not you.
Call now to save on repairs.
We all love recipes with garlic, but trying to use an awkward garlic press makes a smelly mess. Introducing the Great Garlic, your ultimate kitchen companion for effortlessly crushing garlic to perfection. Just place a peeled clove of garlic under the grate, rock it back and forth, and say goodbye to tedious chopping and messy mincing. The Great Garlic ensures consistent results every time. Scan the code on your screen to order your Great Garlic today. This is a limited time offer, so scan now and find out for yourself just how great the Great Garlic is.
Scan the code on your screen now for this exclusive offer from HydroSpark Pro. Discover the new trend that's bubbling up as the future of hydration innovation. Get hydrogen-infused water now with the HydroSpark Pro. Fill it up, push
.org/visit. Just heartbreak here. A tribute is forming outside of Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. For Johnny Gaudreau, the NHL player, and his brother Matthew were killed in a suspected DUI crash last night while riding their bikes in New Jersey. Now, nicknamed Johnny Hockey, the 31-year-old was drafted by the Calgary Flames in the 4th round of the 2011 NHL draft out of Boston College. He signed with the Columbus Blue Jackets a couple of years ago, and in 11 years in the league, Gaudreau had 243 career goals, 743 points, alongside 7 All-Star Game appearances. He leaves behind his wife, Meredith, and their 2 children. The Gaudreau brothers were scheduled to serve also as groomsmen today at their sister's wedding this weekend in Philadelphia.
Oh, beyond heartbreaking.
Yes.
Okay, well, tomorrow is a big day for college football fans, with just about everyone's favorite college football team back in action. And for the first time, 12 teams will be competing for the national championship, with 4 of the schools getting a first-round bye in the single elimination tournament. The Big Ten Conference also has a very new look, adding 4 new teams: UCLA, USC, the UW Huskies, and Oregon, too. Now, you can catch games from the newly remodeled Big Ten right here on KIRO 7 all season long, starting tomorrow when Ohio State hosts Akron at 12:30 p.m. And new at 4, Monique and I were just talking about this because we both have had cats.
Yes.
They're survivors, but a cat from Minnesota somehow ends up more than 1,500 miles away from its home.
Can you imagine that? A little bell dinging all the way. Now, he was found by a woman on a random street in Monroe. Stephanie Metke says she found the cat Finn there with a harness and a tag on last weekend. She says she was driving down a road that she usually doesn't take in Monroe. When she came across that sweet kitty, she just knew he wasn't supposed to be there.
I went over and gave him a quick pet, see if he was friendly, and he just like leaned into it. And so I scooped him up and he started purring immediately. And I'm like, okay, you are not supposed to be here. There's no houses, there's no apartment, nothing around.
Yeah, it turns out Finn went missing from his Minnesota home nearly 8 weeks ago. How did this happen? Well, tonight at 6, you can hear from his owner, who's just grateful her fur baby was found safe and sound.
That's an amazing story.
Right?
I want to know how I got here. Still to come live at 4. It's time to grab your cowboy hats and your boots. The rodeo fun taking over the streets of Puyallup for the Washington State Fair.
Plus, a locked bag is now the essential back-to-school item for some local students.
People are just going to like talk to their friends more, which is like even more distracting.
The mixed reactions to putting their phones in a pouch for the school day.
Keep in mind signs like these if you hit parks and trails this holiday weekend. A warning from police after another wreck.
Wire's neat, orderly, and labeled. Pristine, isn't it? Better than code. I guess that's why you call it a signature install.
Precision doesn't happen by accident. We insist our installers do all the little things that make a big difference in the performance of your home's electrical system.
It's a difference that's easy to see.
Backed by the best guarantees and warranties in the business.
Play golf and do good. Join us for the Red Shield Classic to benefit the Salvation Army's Addiction Recovery Center, a no-fee drug and alcohol recovery program. For every $10,000 raised, we can help another person receive this free life-saving treatment. Tee up to help our neighbors. Thursday, September 12th at Echo Falls Golf Club. Register for the Red Shield Classic or make a donation to the Salvation Army's Addiction Recovery Center now at Cairo7.com/golf. Thank you to our event sponsors for supporting this life-saving work.
On now, insane deals.
There's a lot of noise about the best place to buy a vehicle. At Kendall, we do things a little different. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle at Kendall is a straightforward, transparent process. Every qualified pre-owned vehicle at Kendall has been fully inspected and is covered with the Kendall Auto Protection Plan, included at no extra cost. No noise, just peace of mind. Kendall, let's start something great.
Samantha, how's the season going so far?
Really good. Nice. Get back to center. I didn't know you could cook like this.
Got travel plans? Save 50% on Rosetta Stone Unlimited and let language lead you somewhere amazing. With this deal, you'll get lifetime access to immersive lessons, immediate pronunciation feedback, and expert design learning tools in 25 languages. And since Rosetta Stone teaches you phrases you'll actually use, you can start having meaningful conversations from your very first lesson. Snag your 50% off savings at rosettastone.com for a limited time and get more out of your getaway.
We all love recipes with garlic, but trying to use an awkward garlic press makes a smelly mess. Introducing the Great Garlic, your ultimate kitchen companion for effortlessly crushing garlic to perfection. Just place a peeled clove of garlic under the grate, rock it back and forth, and say goodbye to tedious chopping and messy mincing. The Great Garlic ensures consistent results.
Cairo 7 News.
A suspected car prowler is in custody tonight, accused of breaking into several cars at a Redmond park. Now, it's all part of a spike in car prowls police are dealing with in the city.
And as many people get ready for the holiday weekend with plans to get outside and enjoy the great weather we're having, local authorities are reminding people not to let their guards down. Cairo 7's Jason Sloss is live for us in Redmond now. And Jason, you're in a spot which was targeted just a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, we're at Perigo Park, a beautiful spot, but not a spot where people expect to worry about crime. But Wednesday evening was a different story. Around 8 o'clock, Redmond police got reports of multiple parked vehicles that were broken into, windows shattered and glass all over the ground. A victim reported her credit cards were missing. Police say a wallet was left in plain sight. And as they were investigating, the victim got reports of fraudulent charges made at a nearby department store where officers confronted a 31-year-old man who tried to make a run for it but was quickly arrested. Police say he used the stolen credit cards to buy video game systems. Redmond PD says they've responded to at least 425 car prowls so far this year, and they expect that number to go up this weekend.
Of course, with any holiday, with any nice weekend, we would expect to see a spike in car prowls. So, of course, we are asking the community to please be vigilant and lock their car doors, make sure that all the valuables are out of sight, either locked in the trunk, left at home. Take your wallets with you. You don't want to be a victim of the car prowls.
Well, good advice to help protect yourself. Signs are posted here at the park as a reminder, but not everyone thinks about that stuff. I just talked with a man who comes here a lot, says, I just assume it's always safe here, but now this story is going to change his behavior. And we'll have more about that coming up next hour. Live in Redmond, Jason Sloss, Cairo 7 News.
Well, talk about locking things up. Look at this right here, this lock bag. This is going to be an essential back-to-school item for some Seattle students. It's all to keep kids away from screen and focused on learning. Cairo 7 Samantha Lumibao is at Robert Eaglestaff Middle School, where there are a lot of mixed feelings about this new approach.
Welcome back, Ravens, man. It's back to school season, but this year, campuses nationwide. Good morning, everyone. And right here at Robert Eaglestaff Middle School, are doing things differently.
When you go in, you have to have it locked up. And then when you walk out of the school, you can unlock it.
Malcolm is showing us the new Yonder pouches he and his classmates picked up at orientation on Thursday. They're meant to create better connections between students without smartphones or smartwatches.
I feel like it'll help me actually stay with my friends more because I'll actually be able to talk to them and I just won't be on their phones as much.
The school says cell phones make engagement difficult for teachers, citing nonstop distractions on social media.
They're just mostly scrolling on TikTok.
They're addicting. They like to play games and watch YouTube and whatnot.
Got to control screen time. Nowadays, everyone's on their screens.
Parents I spoke with are also on board with the new lock bags.
Just to focus on school, focus on the teachers, and learning, right? I mean, they're distracted a lot, so I think it's helpful to not have those things.
Some students felt like this was a rash decision that could have used more reinforcement rather than taking this action.
I don't like it. Why? Because, I don't know, especially at lunch, I just want to be on my phone at lunch.
In between classes, and in class, there's usually, only, 1 or 2 people on their phones. I don't know, most people, follow the rules, I feel like.
8th graders like Luke and Ariana believe there wasn't an issue in classrooms to begin with.
That's interesting to me.
They feel like pushing out phones only invites other types of distractions.
It's not, distracting us, if we're just, on it, during a break. I don't know.
I feel like if they do this, then people are just gonna talk to their friends more, which is even more distracting during class.
Samantha Lumibao, Cairo 7 News.
Hamilton International Middle School will also be testing out these new pouches. We're told the pouches will be unlocked at the very end of the day by the school.
Okay, our chief meteorologist Morgan Palmer is back. August is feeling summery. It's hard to remember the beginning of this month, but it was really fallish.
You remember it, Morgan, though, because we were complaining to you, right?
We're talking about last week was an unusually cold week in western Washington. Then things started to improve. Our clouds cleared out. Remember that big lightning storm that we had a few Saturdays ago? That started all of the fall-like weather. We have now finally, 2 weeks later, nearly 2 weeks later, it'll be 2 weeks tomorrow, turn the corner, and we are heading back into a summer-like weather pattern. 83 in Seattle today, 86 degrees in Olympia, 86 degrees in Centralia. But here's the last 31 days. This is that very cool period over the past few weeks with all those cooler than average days. So despite the fact that today and tomorrow especially are going to be quite warm to round out August, this is going to wind up being the wettest August since 2015 in Seattle. And the coolest August since 2011. We have had a string of very, very warm months of August. In fact, the coldest August was back in 1954, and most of the months in the years of the 1950s were very, very chilly. But we've had an unusually warm stretch all the way since 2011, which was a very cold year, to this year. As we go into September, we're looking warmer, though, once again. Pinpoint 7-day forecast. Your weekend always in view. Saturday, Sunday, even some upper 80s to near 90 across the south, including Lewis County. You'll have some 90s tomorrow. 73 in Seattle on Monday on Labor Day, so a bit of relief. The heat doesn't last too long, but it starts to build again by the end of next week.
Perfect weekend on the way. Thank you, Morgan. The Seattle Sounders making an impact on and off the field. Still ahead, the clinics the team is holding to set the younger generation up for success.
And a reunion 2 years in the making. Coming up, how a lost dog is finding his way back to his family that moved out of state.
And most students are getting ready for school, but in one school district, students have been back for more than a month. Up next, why 90% of parents in one Virginia school district voted for a
Hello, Mr. Turnwallet.
Turnwall, that's me.
Congratulations! You won an all-expense-paid trip to Waikiki Village, a 5-star resort located on a gorgeous island with a cozy climate.
Ever since I got one of those signature AC installs from Greenwood, I'm always perfectly